Okay, here's the second video for lesson 6. We're going to start to talk about something called simple interest now. Simple interest is money earned on an investment, okay? But it's calculated in a straightforward way. So you take your initial amount, your principal, it's called, and I'll go through all this, but I'm just letting you know. You take your principal, your original amount, multiply it by your interest rate, and by how long that interest rate applies, and then you get an amount. Okay, so here is a formula for simple interest. If we want to calculate the simple interest earned on an investment, formula is I equals P times R times T. So what do all of those things mean? Well, I is the simple interest, okay? That's the amount of interest calculated. So if the question says find the amount of interest on this, then you use this formula to find I. It's in dollars. The unit is in dollars. P in the formula is the principal, and that's in dollars as well. The principal, of course, is the original amount. R is the interest rate as a percentage. But we usually get it as a percentage, but then in this case, we have to convert it to a decimal, okay? And then T is the length of time in years. Now, it's important that it's in years, and so we'll talk about that in our first example a little extensively. So to calculate the amount, or in other words, the future value of a simple interest investment, we use this formula. We take the P, which is the principal, and we add I, which we would have just found using this formula, I here. So the principal, which is the original amount, plus the interest, the simple interest, will get us the amount, the total amount, the future value, okay? In this case, A is the amount in dollars, P is the principal in dollars, and I is the simple interest in dollars. Now remember, don't get confused. It says it's the simple interest in dollars. I'm not talking about the percentage here. I'm talking about the amount of money you made on your original investment. It's called the simple interest. Okay, so here's a question that we might be expected to handle based on what we just learned. So first and foremost, this says Ron's business has an amount of cash available for investing. That's good. It means he saved some money and he wants to invest it. He does not want to tie up the money for a long period of time, so he's going to look for a short investment. He also does not want the money sitting in a bank account earning little interest. Ron takes $22,000 of the cash, which is a lot of money. He's got $22,000 saved up to invest. And he buys a 6-month GIC, which, if you remember, is a guaranteed investment certificate that will pay simple interest at 1.95% /A. Okay, so let's pause for a second. The /A, the 1.95%, that's the percentage, and then /A means per annum, okay? Let me write that out. It means per annum, which is Latin for per year. So it's 1.95% per year, okay? You will see that notation. Don't worry too much about it, but just know that because my interest rate is charged at 1.95% per year, per annum, then my time always has to be in years, okay? So it says calculate the simple interest earned. So first of all, for simple interest, we're going to use this formula back up here. I equals P times R times T, right? I equals P times R times T. So that is this one right here. Of course, remember the brackets just mean multiply. So my principal, P in this case, is $22,000. That's the original amount of cash. R is my interest rate as a decimal, 1.95% divided by 100 is 0.0195. So that's my R value. And T is my time. So he buys a 6-month GIC that will pay simple interest at this. And because the interest is per year, we have to take our 6 months and divide by how many months are in a year. There's 12 months in a year. So my time, T, is actually 0.5. Okay, it's half a year is what it amounts to. Now you have to do that every time you're doing these calculations. So for your time, you always have to compare it to a year. So for 6 months, that's half of a year. So it's 6 out of 12, which is 0.5. Now in my interest formula, I'm going to plug all of my numbers in. So to find my interest, my P was 22,000, principal was 22,000, R was 0.0195, and T was 0.5. If I multiply all those together, I get $214.50. So Ron would earn $214.50 on his investment. So for 6 months, he'd earn $214.50, which is all right if you think about your money just sitting there anyways. If he's not going to do anything with the cash, with the $22,000, if it's just going to sit there for 6 months, he might as well earn money on it. So he's invested it to earn a little bit of money. B says, determine the future value of Ron's investment. Well, the future value then will be my total amount. Okay, so I'm going to take my principal and my interest and add them together. After 6 months, the value of Ron's investment would be the amount. So it's going to equal the principal plus the simple interest. So the amount will be 22,000 plus 214.50 is $22,214.50. That's the future value or the amount of Ron's investment. Go back and take a look at this if you need another explanation. You have some practice questions to do based on this. Okay, thanks.